Hello, I'm Mark Hammett, minister of the Weber Road Church of Christ in Corpus Christi, Texas. And you may want to turn your Bibles at this time to Numbers 14. Numbers 14 in the Old Testament. We'll be reading from there in just a few moments. But welcome to this daily devotional and Bible reading. If you ever have any input, please let me know. You can message me on Facebook. You can contact me, especially if you're a member here, by text. You can email me. Go to our church website, and you can find out more information about the Weber Road Church of Christ. And of course, you're always invited to visit with us here. It was a mild afternoon in October. It was 1982, almost 40 years ago. It was at Badger Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin, and it was packed. There were over 60,000 die-hard University of Wisconsin fans, and they were watching their football team take a beating by Michigan State. Well, what seemed odd was that as the score became more and more lopsided against them, bursts of cheers and applause kept being heard in the stands. It was only natural that some people began to wonder, what are all these strange people, these Wisconsin fans doing, cheering, when their own team is being pummeled by another? Well, as it turns out, 70 miles away from Badger Stadium, the Milwaukee Brewers were beating the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 3 of the World Series. And of course, they were in those stands at the football game listening to their portable radios. And they would respond to something else besides what was happening right in front of their eyes. You know, in many ways, that's a fairly accurate description of what the Christian life can be like. You know, we might be in the midst of horrible circumstances in this world, and yet we, as Christians, have something to cheer about. We, by faith, know and see the victory that is ours in Jesus Christ. I don't have to point out all the negative things that we see today. If you watch the news, if you're on the internet, you see anything going on in the world today, it definitely concerns you. It concerns me. It concerns any person that especially is concerned with doing what's right and being a Christian in today's world. But nevertheless, remember this. If you're a child of God, which I would encourage you to obey the gospel of Jesus Christ and become a child of God. But if you're a child of God, you have victory through Christ. It can't get any better than that. Let's go ahead and read from Numbers 14. It's not a very long reading. Numbers 14. We're going to be reading verses 26 through verse 30. And the Lord spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, How long shall this wicked generation, this wicked congregation, grumble against me? I have heard the grumblings of the people of Israel, which they grumble against me. Say to them, As I live, declares the Lord, what you have said in my hearing, I will do to you. Your dead bodies shall fall in this wilderness, and all of your number, listed in the census from 20 years old and upward, who have grumbled against me. Not one shall come into the land where I swore that I would make you dwell, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. Now remember, that whole context is the people were let out of Egyptian bondage, which they had groaned about for centuries. And God led them out using Moses. And what did they do when they got out of the Egyptian bondage? We know what they did. They grumbled. They complained, as is found in this passage. And the Lord was, in many ways, just put out with them. Again, it's an unbelievable response to the blessings that God had given them and the freedom that they now had. And you could look at the world today. People are exactly the same. Sometimes they have very short memories. Sometimes we center in on the negative and forget the positive. We need to know about those negative things in life. But we also need to center, especially as children of God, on the positive blessings that God has given to us. I hope this has been encouraging to you, and I hope that you realize that you can have victory through Jesus Christ. And if you're a Christian, you do have victory through Jesus Christ. And may the Lord certainly bless you richly as you seek to follow His will.